Hello, 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 hello. Hi, people. Welcome to Mail Say. Uh, Happy Sunday. What day is it today? It's a Saturday, right? Yeah, no, it's a Saturday. Welcome to Mail Say, a space where men speak. My name is Makabelo Motaung, also known as Coach KB. I'm your social and dating coach and your host for this feature. This is a daily feature I run on my timeline. So if you've not seen it before, I don't know who to go you are missing out. Today, like, I haven't even introduced you, Yahleka. Sit there in your little corner and behave. Sawubona.
Unjani?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Ngi-right. Ngikhathele, but I'm fine. I'm super
I
awesome.
know it comes with the job, eh?
Ish,
Please
I
introduce
know.
yourself to the viewers.
Okay, let me greet everyone who's watching this and people who are still to come. My name, I don't know how to introduce myself fully, but I'm gonna try to be very brief. My name is Vuyolwetho Olona Madikane. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a medical doctor, I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an author of 3 books. I'm a counselor and I'm a healer, a spiritual healer, and so on. The list is endless. But
Hey,
most of
baguette.
them all, what's important about me is that I'm a child of God. I love God so much, more than anything. Yes.
Ay, sibonge baba. Sibonge.
Yes.
Sithi nqeku.
Well, I'm not in that level for now. Although people think do you know some people think I'm a pastor? I don't know why.
Is it?
Uh, yeah, some people think I'm a pastor. Some people call me a pastor when they meet me. I'm not a pastor. I'm just a member. I'm serving under a spiritual father for now. I'm not even anointed. I'm just a Christian, and I just love God. That's it.
Ay, sibonge baba. Today, God was sikhulume God. Today,
Yeah.
today, sibeke
Yes.
iBhayibheli le eceleni kakade. Today sikhuluma about
Yes.
toxic women. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, thina sibahle, sifundile, sigezile, sinuka kamnandi, we
Yeah.
are independent, we
Mm.
are, yes, we look, our bodies are hot, we are on fleek, we're wearing Brazilians, our eyebrows are on fleek. I don't understand. What do you mean we are toxic? How can that be? Oh, how
Okay.
is that toxic?
All right.
What is
I'm glad.
toxic?
I'm
What is?
glad you said. I'm glad that you said you guys look like that because sometimes the looks always deceive men. That is why you find so many men who are just like in a prison of a toxic woman. What does it mean to be toxic? What is a toxic woman? A toxic woman is somebody who is danger to herself as well as other people around her, someone who's poisonous, someone who has a negative influence, someone who will change the entire setup. They will make the environment not conducive for you to grow as a man. I'm talking on the side of a man. That is a toxic woman. As much as they look gorgeous, beautiful, anyhow they look outside, you will see. I'm gonna
Mm.
talk about 3 types of a woman, a toxic woman. 3 types in
Hi,
a minute.
Boba. Eh,
Yeah.
I will show you, Tokotela. Are we born toxic?
Well,
Where
some
do we get? Where do we adapt this? Like, see, dopapi, this thing.
okay. No one is born toxic. No
Mm,
woman was born toxic. Some of women are influenced by the environment they're coming from. A dysfunctional family, a structure where there is no father or a mother. Now, you're not well equipped as a woman. Now, there are certain things that needs to make you a woman, despite your looks and how you feel and what so on. Now, that's one thing. Where we're coming from, it can change us. Sometimes men can change women. You can grow
mm,
up nicely. You have vision, you have direction, you have goals, and you meet a toxic man and they can change your life. And then
mm,
in a toxic way, you become that. Ne? And
mm,
then the environment that we're growing around, meaning our peers, peer pressure, that can change us. There are some people who are very toxic that they that's the thing about a toxic somebody, they don't realize that they are toxic, hence they need help.
Yeah, which was my next question. How do I
Okay.
know I'm being toxic? How do I know when I'm being toxic? Kubola, because ukudla makungasekho right, you can hear
Okay.
from the smell of it ukuthi
Yes.
hayi no akusekho right.
Okay. Okay.
But ke mina makungasekho right as a woman ngibonaphi? Ngibona njani?
Maybe let me talk about these three types of women. I think that's how
Asikhulume ngazo. Yeah.
I'm gonna answer you. There are three types or groups of toxic women. The first group is the type of women that have mental disorder, meaning they have mood disorders, personality disorders. These are the type of women who need mental or medical evaluation and help. Now, what do I mean by this? These women, they exaggerate things all the time. It's like four
Hayi bo,
seasons
but
in.
kuyasenza umuntu ukuthi abe ne-mental health or suke kwenze njani? Suke Akithi umguli naye njengabanye uthatha i-grandpa yakhe I don't understand. How's that
Well,
to-
I'm coming to that. Well,
okay.
these women, how you
So the
see
first
them
type is mental, sorry.
is, yes, the mental illness. Now,
Mm,
that one, it's not out of your control sometimes. It can be influenced by many things. It can be
mm,
by your past experiences with men that you've dated. It can be your background. It can be the people around you. Okay, there's so many influences that can make you or push a woman to that. Remember, a woman is someone who can multiply things. So
mm.
if a woman is exposed to a toxic environment, she multiplies that. And she's not
You
even aware because they were born to multiply things. Now,
you multiply anger, you multiply.
exactly, exactly. Now, if you don't deal with anger issues early, then it becomes more on you. If you don't deal with your emotions and mood swings, then it becomes more as a woman. Now, these are the women that actually they like a weather as a Cape Town. Four seasons in one day. They are changing all the time.
But
They
we
are
are so
happy
used to
now.
being described like that. Women, how? Usho ukuthi siya-
They change all the time. They make a man so uncomfortable in that way. You don't know your woman. Sometimes you don't know who you're dating, hence you find other men saying that I don't know who am I am married to. I don't know who am I dating. This person changed. It's a stranger. When you are happy, you are too happy, and all of a sudden you are changing, you are down, and you are that. You can't control that. I mean, to become obsessive or having a mood disorder, it means that you need a medical help. Now, that one, it needs professional people like your psychiatrist to deal with that. So that is the
how
first
but
type of
ama
woman.
mood in J, how can that influence and make you
The,
feel it's just
eh,
moods.
okay, that's what usually people say, especially in black society. Now, there's this tendency where women are, we know they are fragile. They are flowers of the world. Now, everything we overlook. That's where the problem is. We nurtured these things. We took these mood swings very lightly, and then they
Mm,
got comfortable. No one who's moody or is actually fine. Even it goes to anyone, even men. If you're changing in your mood,
mm,
you're not safe for anyone. No one can contain
mm.
you because it means you can't contain yourself. You are a problem in your own world. Okay. That is the first type of a woman. And then you meet the second type of a woman who are toxic. These women are insecure. They always look for validation. Everything that they are doing, they want validation from men. It can be the way they dress. These women are going out for no good reasons. They're going for shopping for no good reasons. They don't have plans. They have low self-esteem. They don't have ambitions. They don't have goals. They don't have direction. They always think that we have to attract these powerful men. You find them in clubs, they sit in those tables and they're well dressed. They and the way they dress, you expose your body. A woman, one, there are things that you need to actually be proud of as a woman, like for instance how you look, how you dress, because those things addresses you. Okay, now these women have low self esteem. They always want that validation. When you dating this woman, a women as a man, they always look for fine details to get back to you because they are not busy. They are not doing anything about their lives. The only thing that they're concerned about is their hairstyle, going out with girls. They don't in, they are not into things that are developing themselves. Okay, they look for fine details. The headpiece that they can find in their men's car, it's a big issue. It's gonna be a topic for a year. They
I'm a
looking
private
for
investigator. They've got skills,
yes.
but
This
talent. Why is that
exactly.
wrong?
These are people who can crack your password in your phone without you telling them. These are the people
It's
who are
a
following you.
talent.
No, it's not a talent. It's toxic. That's toxic. If someone who's busy doing meetings, you don't have time for that. A woman who's ambitious, doing their own thing, CEO of a company or doing whatever that you're doing, your hobby, you don't have time to trace people. I mean, there are certain principles that you need to actually gather as a human being to build yourself in a proper way. You are toxic
Hmm.
because you don't have anything to do. They are following you. They are tracing your step all the way. And then the third
Their
type of
job is you.
yes. Now you become a burden to somebody else. Like I told you in the beginning, these are the type of women who goes out for no good reason. You know your financial status, you're not okay, girl. You need to relax and sit back and see what can you do to implement yourself. But no, they decide to go to these places to see these type of men that they can attract who are driving fancy cars
But I need
with
to we want to balance this life because now I'm not doing well. So if I attract that, then at least, it's because I was not able to do it on my own. So if I do it,
exactly. Exactly. That's how you become toxic to a man who's visionary because you become his bargain. You're not gonna
but
develop that
then
man.
I will.
Yes.
I need to,
Yes.
and then there's a market for everyone.
Okay.
Surely those women, if there were no men that wanted them, they wouldn't exist.
Remember now, a physical attraction to any man. A man is attracted to what they see first. And that's the ability. And then the women is sensitive in terms of hearing. That's why you can, even if a guy is not good looking, but the way they utter their words, they talk to you, you can still feel because the woman wants that. They want to hear something good about themselves. When they hear that you're beautiful, then it's okay. Now there are
Mm.
things that you cannot stop from a man to do. Like for instance, you see some beautiful lady, you know, the way you look, your body, your curves, and what so on. And then once you get inside, you realize that this person is not doing anything about. You're not balancing anything. I become your assignment, and then that's not right at all. You need to be
I
busy
become your
doing
dependent.
exactly. With some like exactly.
Adopt me. Oh, so what's the third woman? What's the third type?
And the third woman, these women are the ones who actually need serious help. And these are the women that community embrace. The women who knows that we are the flowers of the world, we are fragile. They can use police as their backup against men. They can use government, they can use society. These are the type of women who can play tricks on men. Even if the man is not even abusive,
Manipulators.
they
Mm.
manipulate you. They have a revenge spirit. They don't get over things that a man did. Sometimes this current man that you are dating, you can suffer from the things other men did to her. She's always full of
Mm.
revenge because she knows that the world is she's holding the world with her hands. She knows that if I do
Mm.
this, even if I can hit myself over the wall sitting with Ovuyo in one room and then call
Ngizombonisa
the
mina.
police, they won't even ask anything. The police will come and arrest Ovuyo. And many
Mm.
guys are entrapped in such women. Those women are full of revenge. They are cold
Mm.
hearted. They have
Awumlahli
this
yena.
exactly. They have this dark spirit. They are hungry for revenge and they can do anything. These type of women have put so many men in prison because of rape that they never committed, just
What
because
is
they
it
wanted to.
about? What do they get? Is it power? Is it that I hurt you, you hurt me? Is it that what is
Okay,
it?
there are so many things that influence them, but what I can count, number one thing is that they are hurt. It can be something that I did. You know, these are women who are very get obsessed with you. They love you for real. And then if you don't do what they feel like you're supposed to be doing, they get angry and then they get back at you. That's why they count that I did this for you, I did that for you, materialistic things, especially for
Mm,
those men who are weak, who don't have
mm,
power, who are not working. I did this to
mm,
you. I did. Now that you are working, that you're doing this to me, they up for revenge. They don't let things
mm.
go. They will look for you. They will, they will do anything to
They'll
get
know
back at
everything
you.
about you.
They know everything about you, and then they will come for you. Those are the dangerous women, and they are very toxic. They make men suffocate. Okay.
I don't know. Kunzima, Baba. Hey, Kunzima. So, okay, so let's just
Yeah.
recap on that. It was mental illness. Obviously, this is triggered by maybe traumas. This is triggered by,
Yes.
or it's not traumas. It's just what state of mind. It's just what could have possibly happened. You said
It can
Uguti,
be.
ama mood swings, but
Yes.
what could have triggered that?
It can be the
And can you
trauma.
heal from that?
You can heal. Like, for instance, the common traumatic event that women go through to access that type of personality disorder, like your mood disorders, your bipolar. It's when
Mm,
you are depressed from a very bad or toxic relationship. Okay,
mm,
that one is not your fault. You just came there on your own, because I told you that there's so many factors, but the most thing that is traumatic to women that make them very toxic, it's because sometimes they go through multiple relationships that are toxic, and then they are changed. Like I told you, a woman is meant to multiply things. Whatever that you
mm.
give to a woman, it makes it worse. So you need to be careful in what you're planting, the type of seed in a woman, because she's going to make it more. She's going to give it to
Yeah.
you more, with negative power and influence, and that's not nice. But that
Mm.
on its own, like I told you, it's a disorder. I mean, you need medical help there. You need psychiatrists, you need
But
psychologists, you need.
we don't even know we have bipolar or depression or mental illness.
For
We
the
think
fact,
it's just
you know, when you have a problem, it's when somebody tells you nicely, in a calm way, in a good setup, tells you that, listen, the way you act, the way you respond to things, the way your impulsiveness, I don't think it's okay. And then they become defensive, you have a problem.
mm,
Human beings are willing to learn all the time. If
mm,
you're not willing to learn and change something that is said about you, it means you have a problem. You are toxic. You can't be always right all the time.
mm.
Exactly.
Yo, inzima ke leyo. And then the second one was insecure. You said insecure women, and you've
Yes.
mentioned these ones usually don't have anything going for themselves, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, without victimizing the situation, I mean,
Okay.
look, the high unemployment rate, the whatever, kuyazamiwa la ngaphandle dokotela siyazama bakithi yazi
Okay.
kurafu.
Yeah.
Siyenze njani le?
Everyone needs to discover themselves. You sit down with yourself. It's one of the leading causes of toxic relationships, because you meet someone who has never discovered who they are.
Mm,
They try to find their purpose through you. Then
mm,
you have different assignments. You can't grow a relationship, a healthy relationship, with someone who's lost. That's the problem. Now, you can't use people as your way or a stepping ladder for you to become better. It means there's something wrong with you. It means you need to change. It means you are selfish. It means that you need help.
ah, bathi umuntu ngabantu, angithi
No,
ngumuntu ngawe, ngumuntu ngawe, ngumuntu ngawe, umuntu ngami, yabona?
no, not that type of behavior. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong for a man. Get me this. Please hear me correctly. There's nothing wrong when a man is supposed to provide for a woman, but a woman with direction, a woman with good motives, a woman with dreams, a woman who's doing something about her life. That's okay, because you can nurture there, you can grow. But a woman who has nothing, it means you have a problem. What are you busy
But
with?
but I'll be busy once we're together. I need to you see you're a doctor, and then I come in, and then I'll find my purpose with you together. Now that you know.
These are the type of women, when you find someone, I'm busy, I'm a doctor. First of all, they'll question me about my schedule. Why are we having so much long hours? Because they are bored. They're not doing anything. They remember now. It's not like they are faking it. They really love you. It's just that they need somebody who's gonna plant a good seed and say, you know what,
Mm,
girl, I see a potential in you. You've shared this part of your life. I think maybe embark on this journey. What if you start counseling? What if you start singing? What if so that you are busy with something else? Otherwise, you're gonna track my calls. You're gonna say, why did
mm.
you come back at 8 today? Yesterday you and then now I'm in a toxic environment. I have to focus at
And
work.
that keeps you away from your passion now because sokumele ube is something else. You can't be a doctor now just so that you are here for this person. You can't be, it
Exactly.
takes away from your passion, your hobbies, your life in general.
Exactly. That's what changes most men. That's why you find most men going to clubs trying to find some peace and what so on, which is wrong. But we'll talk about that some other day because we're focusing on the toxic women. Now,
Mm,
remember, like I told you, that these women, it's not like they're up for blood. They are not like they're that type of a woman. This one, they want to love for real. It's just that they've never been exposed to better opportunities as a
mm,
woman. Okay, they've never been nurtured. It can be because of your dysfunctional family that you're coming from. You know how
mm.
we are, especially black societies. We come from weird and worse
Ebuzimeng,
dysfunction, and there's no way we can actually find this thing called life in a good way. We need support
mm.
structure along the way, but don't use that opportunity just because you are beauty, just because you have curves, just because you can have your weave and what's so on to get what you want. It doesn't
Oh,
work like that. That is
God
a
gave,
short
gave it to me. What must
that
I
is a
do with it?
shortcut. That is a shortcut to life. You can do something better with your beauty. Go for fashion designs. You can go for modeling. You can develop yourself through that. There's still career path with regards with your beauty, but do something. Because if you're not doing something or busy with anything as a woman, you will make your man to become your hobby, and you'll chase him,
Mm,
and
mm.
then you are toxic.
Yeah, no guess about. And then the
Yeah.
third one, it was malicious or the manipulative
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
And Laba, they are out for revenge, you said. And
Yes.
I feel like from what you've described, it sounds like if a man from childhood has traumatized you, whether sexually or whatever, abused you, or you've witnessed your mother getting abused and whatever, and you were like, sometimes we make vows with ourselves, "Ukuthi mina angeke ngifane nomama. I won't ever
Yes.
let a man abuse
Yes.
me, or I won't
Yes.
ever let a man, based on
Yes.
what we've seen. So kahle kahle hayi ukuthi I became bitter. I became
Yes.
out of self-protection, I became
Okay.
something else.
Yes. That's why I wanted to actually, you just took my point, is that sometimes it's a protection not to face what you saw in your parents. Some children, that's what we go through in our black societies and
Mm,
families. Your father, if you are fortunate enough to have the presence of the mother and the father, your father is constantly beating your mother. It was a norm back in the days. The father
mm,
is going out and then he's drinking and come back home and all that behavior. Then you as a woman, you say, you know what, I'm not gonna let that happen to me. I'm not
mm,
gonna allow men. You create this barrier for yourself. Now it means you are also limiting yourself because it means you don't realize that you have trauma. You need counseling yourself. You need to be delivered from that so that you move on and realize it was a different setup and situation. That is the reason why we are in toxic relationship at first place, because we treat situations as if they occurred before. People are
mm,
different. People have different ways of thinking, the way they do things. You need to have your total turnaround of healing, and we leyo barrier leyo. We understand ukuthi yes, you've seen this happening, but it doesn't mean that the people that you're gonna meet are like that. Otherwise, you won't give people a chance. That's why you're gonna
mm,
be a hardcore woman. These women, they will tell you that we don't want weak men. We don't want weak men. You see, these are the type of women that they don't like, guys who are always kind all the time, and they can complain about that. This one is always buying me something all the time, and they get tired of that. These are the women who And I'm not sure how sensitive this thing I'm saying. If I'm breaking your rules here, I'm sorry.
No,
These are the type of women who understand one language from a man. It's
I was
only it's only
I was
about the
about
good.
to edit. Okay.
It's only about the goodness of a man in the bedroom. That's the only language they will understand. That's the only
Mm,
language that can humble them, and then they realize,
mm,
okay, yes, actually, he is a
no.
man. Yes.
Mm. You know what I was about to add, Gemina
Yeah.
Tokotel? I was about to add,
Yeah.
and Bangang shy, but I'm sure they will. I'll take it. I was about to add to your list.
Yeah.
A woman who tolerates abuse for me is toxic
True.
because,
Yes. Yes.
and a woman who tolerates any form of abuse for me is toxic. She's toxic
True.
to herself. She'll be
Exactly.
toxic to the kids that she raises because
Yes.
le trauma le nale
Yes.
nale nalo nubuhlungu loba buzwile, transfer it somewhere because we're always passing on pain, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes.
If we don't stop and deal with it, we pass it on, right?
You will definitely deal with it. Yes.
Yes,
I
and
wanted. Yeah.
look, I'm not saying Guti, we make excuses. Look, there are moments where you can see somebody's abusive and you still stay. You're like, I know, uyangithanda,
Yes.
yabona. So you have no self-protection burial. You have no self-guard. You are so giving of yourself that you are even willing to be somebody's punch bag, somebody's
Exactly.
emotional trash bin, somebody
Exactly.
you do you understand? For you to even take that, and you are gonna pass it on. And my next question was
True.
gonna be, seeing that there are these toxic women, Sikona, Sinje, how does that affect our ability to parent? How does that affect our ability to relationship?
Okay, actually, I was gonna go through this type of women, but I'm gonna answer this in that way. This is where the single parents come in, with the single parents that have children. Okay,
Mm,
these are the type of women. Now, when you are a single parent and you have a child, the worst behavior that you can do as a woman that shows that you are toxic is to use your children against the relationship of their father, is to use the relationship
mm,
of a failed relationship, and you are blocking the next generation because of your failed relationship.
you're blocking
Now,
them from love because you never got it.
exactly. Because
Mm,
you gave up on it. And then you're going to use this child again. Most men, you'll be surprised out there that these things are not shown and people are not talking about them. You'll be surprised how many men who are willing to raise their children, but they are blocked by these women who are bitter. They are still
mm,
using
mm.
that code to fight against you. They will take away your.
Awungishadanga.
Exactly.
You've ruined my body. We
Exactly.
see that saying he sold secondhand good,
Ex-
and that is like as Kulumege futhi about sorry to rush you here. I think I'm
okay.
all over the place, but
Ex- Okay.
stop me
I
and
will.
feel free to pitch in as well. I was about to
Okay.
say toxic women also hide behind religion.
Yes. Ah, that's
There
another
are a
big group.
lot of
That's
toxic women that hide behind
that's
religion.
that's another big group. That is why you find many men who don't believe in whatever belief system, because it was broken by these powerful prayer women, ladies who go to church all the time, who are toxic when they get home. These women are they pray, they worship the pastors or whatever where they are, but when they come to these men, they are hardcore. They forget about that. They are praying at church. They say we are Proverbs 31, but at home they are something else. They are hiding behind the religion. And it's so difficult. It's suffocating to a man because you get confused that the very same thing that was supposed to make you better but is destroying you, they are hiding. They have the problem. Religion has nothing wrong with anyone. Really, that's what I always say. It has nothing to wrong. It's something that can shape people. But the thing is that if people are not willing to change, it's a problem. But these women are hiding through that. They are known like that. The way they dress, they know that. I always say these are the type of women who are toxic, who are good in protecting their reputation, but their
Mm,
character is rotten. And you
mm,
will know this type of women once you start dating them more, once you're
mm,
staying with them, you realize this one is hardcore. Actually, they are not what they showed me to be. And
mm,
wena usibonele lo sister lo shem enkonzweni or uyabo wathi yazi angathi userious, I can build something with this one. Kanti ugirl is hiding ngale
mm,
Christianity. Sometimes not to put a not to punch women too much. Sometimes they use religion as a coping mechanism of the abuse that is happening around them. Now it becomes a hiding place. She knows that at least I'm gonna go to church, and then there's something that's gonna make me feel that I'm human.
mm. Sithi umuntu
Because some
uyaworship kanti uyakhala ukhalela
that
akasekho naku-God sekala
it's
ukuthi yo
it's not
ubuhlungu la, you know.
it's not even spiritual anymore. This person is reflecting on what's happening at home, the abusive man.
Mm,
This is therapy to her. This is the place where he
mm,
can, because he feels like I can run to God. God can hear me, can see me. Now, at least if I can go to God once a week, I can cope. We must not take for that for granted. Sometimes it's not that they are hiding, but they are running away from what's happening at home. But we're not on that
mm.
today. We're gonna we're gonna
Yeah,
protect
no,
them a little bit.
sizobuya sakhuluma nge-toxic man before the woman killed me.
Yes,
So he's gonna come back, and this time we're gonna talk about toxic men. Don't think this is
yes,
just a gender-based
true. Yes, because people
discriminating.
exactly true. They'll
Mm,
start pulling that. That is, you're biased. No, we're trying to pull a woman that if you're one of these women, because remember now, here it's not about you personally. It's about the children. It's about the people, the young girls that you influence. Remember now, as much as you live your life, but there are people who are influenced by the life that you live.
mm,
Exactly. Now, there are people, whether you like it or not, you can try to live your life. You can say that I'm in my own lane, but there's someone who's benefiting from that lane. They are watching you, they check your steps. Now, at the end of the day, we need to heal from these things and become better people.
mm. Can I come from a good family, have
Yeah.
good education, and still be a toxic woman?
Yes, you can. You can be raised by pastors and become a toxic woman. That in life, you need to understand this thing. Everyone has their own journey. Just because these are the principles that you were raised by at home, it does not necessarily mean that you, as Makabelo, you will adapt to those things. You are a human being. You are influenced by many things. You meet different people. You grow as a person, and then you find yourself. Remember now, once you find your purpose, then you need to live according to that. You can come from a good family, raised by pastors or what so on, but become toxic. It's possible.
Mm. Or,
It's possible.
even the form of toxic, uzoba yiyo, it's judgmental, ungabi nobuntu.
Yes.
So you have this perfection, this things going on for yourself, which is all good.
Yes.
But ungabi
Yes.
nobuntu, and that makes you
It
toxic. Ungabi
exactly. What?
noxolile, that makes you
Yes.
toxic.
Yes. The thing is that people pretend a lot. Why do I say this? It's because you can be brought up in a good environment, but it takes one to adapt to respect. It takes one to adapt to good values. It take one because you need to practice these things. Now
Mm,
when you grow from a certain environment that is good, and then you are changed to a toxic somebody, it means that these things, you were doing what you were taught. Now sometimes, now this goes back to parenting, that there should be a standardized way of making sure that you transfer this so that your child understand what is meant by respect, what is meant by values. Meaning there are values that you should have, like your honesty to yourself, loving other people, not just because that this is how, because some families do that. I mean, you can come from, I remember I come from a family that is respected in the community. And then
mm,
when we were growing up, we were always judged by our brothers who were coming, that we were following, that boys coming from this family are not like us, because Tina, we were problematic boys. We were going out there. We want to explore. The people judge us based on that because they know our family is good, is full of good people. But Tina, we that was not instilled in us. It was not inside us. We were just there in a good environment, but we had these demons growing inside us. That is why we couldn't express greatness and good things to other people. Then we
mm,
became toxic while we grew in a good, a proper environment. It's possible.
mm, mm.
It's possible.
So, and then our brothers, bajola nathi abasibona ukuthi si-toxic. When do they actually see we toxic? Or bona ayijampi vele ukuthi this one.
Okay. This is unfortunate part about dating a toxic woman as a guy. Unfortunately, people are good in protecting their reputations. You cannot tell until someone start opening their mouth. You realize that this person does not respect anything. Unfortunately, you have to go through certain experiences. Now, experience meeting this type of women will make you recognize this earlier. There's no way you can tell from a distance that this person is toxic. Unfortunately, although some people they portray that from a distance, but many people
Hide it.
they exactly they hide it. But the experience now, if you grow as a man as well, your experience, you realize while you are in dating phase that okay, I remember this type of behavior. I can't tolerate this. Let me go. Unfortunately, you have to go through the process to learn that okay, I've been this and then it didn't work out well. I've been to
Mm,
with a woman who can crack my password. I've been with a woman who actually was crazy about the hair that she found in my car seat, yet that hair belonged to her, but she made drama out of it. Then
mm.
it is a trend. Then you learn through experiences. That's the unfortunate way. Then you realize that okay, this one is toxic.
Uh,
Yeah.
are toxic women the single ones or the married ones? Where do we bakuphi? Bayajola or bashadile? Batholaphi labo toxic women?
Okay, there are toxic women who are not married, and there are toxic women who are married. So, sibathola kuyo yonke indawo, because at the end of the day, remember, a marriage, it's a transition, it's a process, but it does not necessarily change the person. Kushintsha
Mm,
nje i-title at that point ukuthi usushintshile manje ukuthi usushadile, but akushintshi ukuthi usawuthembeka, that Thembeka who's not okay in terms of character.
mm,
So
mm,
kushintsha ukuthi you are married, so you're continuing with that behavior. So uyakwazi ukubathola in marriage, uyakwazi ukubathola yibo phela laba benza ukuthi amakhwenyana babo bahambe baye emaklabini and go for younger girls.
mm,
These are the type of women, because umuntu wesilisa akawuthanda umsindo. Umuntu wesilisa interprets love through respect. If you're a woman and you're not respecting your man, you just speak anyhow as you please, then that man, you're gonna push that man to go to a club, you're gonna push that man to a tavern, you're gonna push that man to drink a lot, so that adambise imizwa yakhe to face you,
mm,
because you are
mm.
too much.
Hey, wow. Ay, usenzile uNkulunkulu. So Garabo says, this is a few comments that I'm gonna read. Garabo says, pain when well maintained to pain when well maintained for a long period of
Yeah.
time be a powerful
Yes.
psychological justifier of any evil that anyone desires to carry out.
Okay.
Pain, actually, when maintained for a long time, can be a
Okay.
powerful psychological justifier. Kanjani?
Yes. And it goes back to the number one woman, the one who are mental disorder. They
Mm,
have this constant pain that they never dealt with. Now it made your environment or your brain cells to make a disorder, even if when umuntu right, because you've decided to contain this pain ungadili nayo ngesikhathi.
Mm,
Anything that you contain in yourself, it will make you justify yourself noma wrong. Ngoba
mm,
if you can go to these women uzokutshela ukuthi mina ngihlangi. That is why
mm.
those people who are psychotic siyababamba bebanjwe behanjiswe basiwe esibhedlela because they don't realize ukuthi bayahlanya. Akekho umuntu
Yeah.
ongathi mina, no one can say listen I am toxic, I'm crazy. No one, especially if there's a mental disturbance. I get what girl is saying. Ukuthi when a pain is maintained for a long time, it can justify you. And we defend
Mm.
ngalokho. Kanti when
Kuba
you've
yi-victim.
created this barrier for you not to move on ukuze udile nalokho ube umuntu right, and then there's a disorder that is happening in your brain. Now you have this bipolar, now you have this mood disorder, now you have this personality disorder that you were not born with.
Mm. So asithi ngiyazibona-ke ukuthi ngi-toxic and I like someone. What kind of conversation do I have with the man I love about my toxicity? What? We understand that, eh?
Please repeat that
What?
again. Yeah.
Asithi-ke ngiyazithola ukuthi okay, vele I'm toxic, I admit it. I have these toxic behaviors that are sometimes triggered. And
Okay.
I like a guy enough to say, look, I want to sit him down and own part of my being toxic. How
Okay.
do I sit him down and say, look, I have these toxic traits and features. I'm working
Okay.
on them.
Okay.
Ukuthi angabaleki, angithi ngiya-admit,
Okay.
ngiyaziletha manje ukuthi
Okay.
ngiwuhlanyozi kahle kahle, kodwa
Okay.
nawo amapilisi nakho.
Ukuthi- Well, I think that one, it will also depend on multiple factors. I'm going to touch this one. It will depend on the level of growth of your man, the one that you are attracted to. Remember now, there's a difference between a man and a boy. Now, if you are telling a boy that the boy will run immediately, no one wants to
Mm,
face that. No one wants to help you. As much as they can see that you have a cry for help, utshele umuntu who's not matured enough to contain you. That's the problem. But a real man will assist you. He will even take you to classes of psychology or any form of therapy, depending on your belief system. Even if it's ancestors, even if you're going to the pastors, then they will help you out. That is a man. So it depends what type of person are you dating. Are you dating a man or are you dating a boy? But unfortunately, if you are dating a boy will always run away. They will never be part of that. They will run away. It's a red flag for them. They're not fit enough to contain that. They're not matured enough to help you go through that process as much as they
mm,
love you. But a
mm,
man is responsible. A man can measure, which, okay, la, I can build something better. At least lawyer realize which there's something wrong. Anyway,
mm,
somebody who's matured, when someone comes to you actually would listen, you know what, I have a problem, and then if you're matured you can help. That's why I'm saying that
mm,
it depends. Now, are you dating a boy or are you dating a man?
mm, mm.
Yes.
So, I mean, how do we heal from being toxic?
Mm,
How do we Okay, let's start with the types that you had. With the mental
okay.
illness one, how
Yeah.
do I heal from it and be in a position to be dateable and be in a position to relationship well, even in spite of this illness?
Okay. Remember now, when we speak about a mental illness, and then there are groups of them, or a mental disorder, it also needs like a multidisciplinary approach. It's not something that you can just speak to someone or maybe motivate them and they get over it. Some people may need some sort of like medicine that can calm them down, that will need a psychiatrist, that will need a counselor, that will need a psychologist, that will need a social worker to help you out to regain your environment. Remember, this is serious, and it's what, this is what I always tell people. There's nothing wrong with us. I always tell women that there's nothing wrong going to a psychologist, even if you are okay. But there's this stigma that if you see a therapist or somebody, it feels like there's something wrong with you. Sometimes
Mm.
you need to go there even if you are fine, so that you know that I'm purifying myself, I'm making sure that I'm okay, I'm not toxic. Remember, someone who is toxic,
Ngiyasanitize nje.
Eh, yes, exactly. Remember, someone who is toxic, when it starts to be influencing other people, someone who's toxic is also toxic to themselves. Remember now, these people are actually toxic. They are danger to themselves, meaning you're going to have your limitations in terms of your own progress as a woman.
Mm,
You're going to have your
mm,
limitations as your growth as a woman. You're not going to interact well with other women. You're going to always have that low self-esteem as a person. It means you need, so a mental illness type of disorder, because it's common and it's there and it's always missed, especially in black society. We always think it's a white people's problems until umuntu afike in our psych ward kanti une-depression. That's where we unlock all these type of disorders, about bipolar, mood disorders and what so on, ngoba uze kwadingeka ukuthi abe ne-depression to discover all
mm,
this. Now that one, in order for you to heal, it needs a professional help. You have to via
mm,
that route. Psychologist,
mm.
you have to via that route that I've mentioned. There's no other way around,
There's
because
no other
sometimes
way around it.
there's no other way around. You need to go through that process. A support system from your family, from your person, your man. If you are married, your husband. You need that, and you have to go through that route. And it takes courage and support system for that particular person to break through from those mental illness and to actually
Mm,
accept and know, because it's not easy, especially as black people. Ngoba sithi
mm.
disease yabantu abamhlophe kanti iningi ebantwini abamnyama.
Yeah. And I always
Yes.
say, Guti, self-realization, self-development, self-love,
Yeah.
self-this. Asizalanga ngayo. We don't
Yes.
we as vele we don't just grow up and think, oh, self-love, here you go.
Exactly.
It's
True.
something
True.
that
True.
you invest time in, you invest money
Yes.
in, you invest
Yes.
material in. Instead of me
Exactly.
going and buying True Love magazine, uzohamba ngiyothenga incwadi yakabani bani ekhuluma nge-self-development, or I'll spend an hour watching
Yes.
TV takes or watching or whatever
Exactly.
else
Yes.
makes you feel. So I think sometimes we get so caught up in the past and blame Uguti, no, it's my childhood trauma, it's where I come from. But there's an
Yes.
expiry date to blaming your past, especially
Definitely.
one that you have no control over. At some point, I
Otherwise,
can't still be 35 and saying, it's because my mom left me or my dad wasn't around. Eh,
exactly.
You know?
So you're right. As a person, you need to reach some sort of like a sense that you are in a journey. You need to develop yourself. There are things that you dealt with and you need to get over them. And you can't allow those things to make you toxic to other people, because you're gonna ruin something that is powerful. You're gonna leave a relationship that is meant to keep you going for a long time. You're gonna leave a marriage, because some people are actually getting divorced from these things, these type of behaviors. And then the guy will be like, I can't, I'm suffocating, I can't deal with this. Why? Because people have an excuse. Ngoba uthi omunye uzafuna ukuthi uyi-own leyo nto leyo, athi I grew up like this, I'm like this, why are you judging me? You're not judging you. We're trying to help you out. You need to grow. Come out from that situation. You are no longer there. You are a person of your own now. You are an adult. You need to behave like one. You need to face your demons. There's no other way.
Mm,
And then
mm,
once you do that to someone who is immature, they will feel like you are attacking them. They will always think
mm,
that you are against them, but they won't grow. That is why we find girls who are 45, and then you find a woman who's 25. Why? Because that person, what will rato mina, I angeke ngicontrolwe ukuthi ngishawe yini. I won't be controlled by what I've been through, the past relationship that were bad. I'm gonna change my life. Ulerato abe powerful, abe ne wisdom at the age of 25. Umuntu ona
mm,
45 angabi nalo, because they have that thing which, mina, I was like this. Don't attack me.
mm. Make
That
excuses
yes, that
for
is number
ububi.
one. That
Mm,
woman, type 1 toxic woman, you need therapy. Number 2 and 3, I will combine it. This one needs to look back now. If your partner is not helping you out, sit down with yourself. It all starts with self-love. Love yourself. Do you know, Gucci, there are people who can, there are women who cannot date themselves. What you
mm,
do you know that there are women that the lifestyle that you want from your men, as uyazama hle ubhuti uyahlanganisa, is the very very same lifestyle that you can't afford yourself. You're asking for
Mm,
too much. You can't afford it. Kodwa nje ubhuti
mm,
uyazama wenza usimende wenza izindlu wena ufuna ukuqedela leyo nto engabe uyambhilda nakhane niye phambili, but you yourself can't actually maintain the lifestyle that way oyifunayo, kodwa you want
mm,
someone else to make sure ukuthi they pay so that you maintain it. You are toxic.
mm,
Now that's where you need to come from. Love yourself. Find your purpose. What is it? Iba full of you before you
mm,
accept somebody else. Find a total healing. Ukwazi ukuthi uyikhiphe wedwa ugel ungabi, because do you know there are so these toxic women, it's not that they sometimes they it's not that they love, sometimes they are lonely. There's a difference.
mm.
Yeah,
Kanje.
sometimes they just lonely, they longing for love because they never got that from their parents. Their fathers are
Mm,
about dysfunctionality. Now you want that from other men that you're gonna meet. Ufuna father figure. Yo, okay, that's a topic of another. There are women who have been destroyed by the fact that there was no presence of the father figure. They are
mm.
looking for a father figure in every man that they are coming from. That is why a 13-year-old can date a 45-year-old and see that is fine.
But amadoda abafuna abafazi in us mos nathi athi wena umfazi wena yabona wena uyashadeka wena umfazi nani you're looking for your mothers in us hayibo
Angithi
on
sifocasa on
women okay hayi
angali ukuthi there are amadoda angasiwona amadoda, and I always emphasize this thing to people ukuthi the world is longing for the voice of men. We are raising boys too much. As a result, the boy child uyekeliwe, yingakho umuntu wesilisa egcina esenobulwane obukhula kuyena, ekwazi ukurape an innocent child, ekwazi ukurape an old grandmother, ekwazi ukurape a young woman ngoba unalo bulwane obukuyena. So that's a topic of another day. But
mm,
as a woman, to heal from this, recognize you have a problem. Yekela abangani bakho abakunikeza peer pressure.
mm,
Yabona uma ufuna ukukhula as a person, don't blame somebody else. Always blame yourself. What did I do to contribute? Yes, that's where you can take charge of your own life. But if you're gonna focus on friends, abazokutshela ukuthi mo girl, this guy is the one who's changing you. This guy is the one who's doing that and that. Then you're not gonna grow. You will
mm,
always depend. You won't heal. So you need to sit down with yourself. What are my values as a woman? Do you love yourself? Do you value yourself? Self-esteem. Are you okay if you're wearing your dress and then no one is saying you look beautiful? Are you content with yourself? What do you see as a woman when you look at the mirror? Are you okay? Are you full of you, or do you need a validation of a man's voice to make you feel that you're good? Be
mm,
okay, accept who you are, have confidence. You know, there's nothing attractive as a woman that is full of confidence.
mm,
Uyazazi with values and respect. Ngoba it's gonna be easy to nurture that kind of woman if you meet a good man. Ngeke uze ube
mm,
i-burden, ngeke uze ube umthwalo ngoba you recognize and you heal from these things. You will never use your children to stop the relationship of a fake father. Ubavimba abasakwazi ukuhlangana nobaba wabo manje ngenxa yakho. Abanye uthola ukuthi they are in marriages. Hey, other women uthola ukuthi umuntu wesilisa uyafina ukuthi abheke iy'ngane zakhe ezingaphandle komshado, kodwa ubanjwe lo mama lo, uthi lo mama,
mm,
if uzokondla le y'ngane lezi ezingaphandle, I'm gonna leave this marriage.
mm. Stop so they stop men from having a relationship with their kids because be insecure about the other woman uya
E-
laphaya uzobona ubani bani they
e-
always insecure despite the rationality yokuthi kunengane laphaya kunani you know mm,
exactly. And they will do whatever it takes. Remember now, we're all smart about our lives. We want to be better. We want to live good lives. We always want to leave legacy and generation. These women are smart because they can see this man is working, is owning properties, a businessman. He's going to leave this world to these other children who are outside the marriage. Now it's all about power,
mm,
fighting for my children that are here. I don't care about the suffering of the kids that are outside. And it's a sad
mm,
reality. There are women who are blocking those men to take care of the children that are outside. Nawe
Mm.
ungena backbone as a man, nawe ungena structure as a man, you allow it. But remember now, this topic is so big in such a way. Kunezinto esingayikhavanga, like for instance, there are some women who are using muti to control men.
Yes,
So that
yeah, well, yes, we didn't touch on that. You are
so,
being toxic.
so yes, that's toxic. Uyidlisa indoda. Ukuba toxic
Mm.
ukudlisa indoda.
Ikuthande.
Ikuthande, uvala amandla akhe, uyamncisha, umvala ipower yakhe as a man. Ufuna ukuthi umcontrole. That is a toxic woman. If udlisa indoda nje, you are toxic.
But angithi umama uthe indoda engadliswa angeke ushade ngane yami. If umama uthe, ugogo uthe, ubani next door umngane yakho ishadile mina angishadanga. I'm 35 and so therefore the pressure to just,
Okay, it goes back to the points that we were highlighting, that we're coming from dysfunctional families. You can't adopt
mm,
the wrong behaviors of your past history zibheda zinjalo if you want something better for your life. You can't
mm,
that. Just because ugogo bekathakatha nawe ufana uthakathe, there's no such a way. You need to grow, level up, find different pathway as a human being. You can't be
mm,
pressured such things because it means you are not growing, you're not doing anything. Ukudlisa indoda, it's not a right thing. Ukudlisa indoda idlise ngothando. Khona if bengenza izolo, idlise ngothando, igeze iy'nyawo, uyihloniphe, uyinikeze isizotha, yiba nendlela of communicating with him. Indoda interprets love through respect. Umuntu wesilisa uthanda izinto eziyi-two ezihamba phambili kumuntu wesifazane: a woman that listens to him and a woman that respects him. That's how that's how man receives love. That is why kungasi umsebenzi wabantu besifazane to love. It is the assignment of men. Yingakho umuntu wesifazane, when she starts to love, ngikutshelile ngathi umuntu wesifazane multiply things. It's wrong for a woman to love because she will do extra. She will want to control this man. She will want to own this man. She will do she will become obsessed because you are not capable of loving. It's not your character. It's not in your nature. A man is supposed to love you. You're supposed to receive. Oh God. Okay.
ngaqala uprife la.
Okay.
So, but ke dokotela, my last question, because we literally have 3 minutes
Yeah.
to wrap this up. For
Okay.
me, khona amadoda who are attracted to toxic women. If
Okay.
ungabi toxic, abakuthandi. If ungahlanya, uzowathi hayi uyahlanya lo ini. Like they speak of it with love. Ukuthi yo uzongenzela uzongenzela something lana. Like they just speak of toxic behavior. Ukuthi hayi imedi yami iyahlanya ini. Like they in love with the toxic behavior, almost like if they get a woman who's not toxic.
Okay. Let me talk about something sensitive. It's obviously not for viewers less than 18. There is no man that can be attracted to, I don't want to say a psychotic woman, a crazy woman. The other thing that is nice about crazy women, they have good sex.
It's the
Crazy
sex.
crazy women, they will give you good
So
sex.
uqolela ukuthi ikhanda lakho lihlanye mara kusala at least yazi la I'm
The-
good. The
but I
bedroom
assure
is
you, I assure you, as good as it is, there's no man who can take and marry that girl. There's no way. They will enjoy the sex and then they become too obsessive and then as detached. Only as the asho ukuthi yo, as lo girl were crazy, but the sex, it was awesome. With this type of women who are toxic and crazy, the sex is good. Period. And
oh
then
hayi sondihlalele yona ke hayi ke
exactly.
hlalani ne-good sex yenu namahlanya wenu ke.
Exactly. But yes, like I said, that there's akekho umuntu wesilisa ongasukela nje umuntu ohlanyayo, because umuntu wesilisa ufuna insecurity, ufuna umuntu who's going to be able to build a home, umuntu ozokwenza kube comfortable, umuntu ozokwazi ukunecha iy'ngane. Someone with a mental disturbance cannot do that. Otherwise, even these children, they will become crazy. As what you see in the black society, it's a cycle. There is a
Mm.
production of crazy people. This goes both to men and women because of dysfunctionality of what we've been exposed to.
Mm. So that your last parting words to women, those who are okay, okay, my last question before you part.
Okay.
Can I be a non-toxic woman? Then along the way I start developing toxic. Oh, we talked about that. You actually
Yeah,
talked about that.
we
So I'm
spoke
not even
about
gonna ask you. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna ask you that.
it.
Your last words, to women, toxic or not toxic. What is your last message
My
of the
last
day?
message to women is that love yourself, appreciate who you are, develop yourself, find your purpose, find your vision, find your stand. Love, be okay with who you are so that you're not going to expose your heart because you have a system that is designed to be weak, especially for men. But if you're strong in these characters in terms of loving yourself and knowing who you are, what you want, you won't be in danger of toxic men that are there to destroy your life, because there are toxic men whom can change and transform your life, and they shift you from your direction. Love, accept yourself, appreciate who you are, and know ukuthi sometimes it's not about ukuthi wena owenze into wrong. Sometimes it's the people that you met abakushintsha ukuthi ube nje. If they caused you pain, you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and don't feel bad about it. Don't, learn to make sure ukuthi izinto ezibuhlungu ezikushayile ongakwazi ukuzishintsha, let them go. Then you're going to have inner peace. Start afresh and love yourself, and you've got this. You're beautiful.
Mm.
You multiply things. You are the flower of the world. You are, women, they make things okay. Yeah.
And to men, and to men,
And to men, oh gosh, men.
men are ngiyadlala.
And to my brothers out there, let's appreciate our ladies. Let's not abuse them. If you feel like you have anger issues from the absence of your father, or from the peer pressure from bad company, ekasi sikhule sitshela ukuthi if abuse, if you don't sleep around with them, then you are weak. Heal from that, move on. Let's protect our sisters, let's love them. Don't engage to somebody if you don't have direction, if you don't have vision, if you don't know your purpose, if you're not developed as a man, because you are not ready to nurture that person. Remember, your job is to protect, it's not to destroy. Asiyekeleni ukushaya abantu besifazane. Let's man up, singabi there's a difference between a boy and a man. Let's not become boys, but let's become men and be responsible. That's my
Siyabonga, Dokotela. Where do people find you? Where do people find you? How do they buy your book? How do they follow you?
Okay, so I'm available throughout almost all social media platform, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and then if people want, now I was trying to put all my books in the bookshops. The problem is the lockdown. So I think people can just follow me because I always post about them all the time. That how, what's the process now we're waiting for, because I can't even curate the books for now. Now, I
Mm.
think the best thing for people is that they follow me on Instagram. I'm Dr. Vuyolwetho Olona Madikane, RSA. On Twitter, I'm Dr. Olona Madikane. And YouTube channel is Vuyolwetho Olona Madikane. And then on Facebook, Vuyolwetho Olona Madikane. So it's like all platforms. All of my names Vuyolwetho Olona Madikane, except for Twitter. Twitter
They
is
must
Dr.
just
Olona.
Google you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for making time for us and our viewers. And part 2 years, I am a daughter.
It's coming,
Are you committing to it? Are you
and
committing to coming back?
I'm gonna hit hard for men.
Uh,
Unfortunate.
you heard it from the man himself. He's coming back for part 2. He's going to talk about
Yes,
men. And yeah,
yes.
thank you so much, guys. Bonge Baba. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this opportunity as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.